You know, we hear a lot about the big giants of industry, but let's talk about the unsung heroes, the real engine of the Indian economy, the micro, small, and medium enterprises, or MSMEs. They're absolutely essential for the country's ambitions. And in this explainer, we're going to break down the massive credit support system being built to really unleash their potential.
And just to get a sense of the scale we're dealing with, wrap your head around this number. We're talking about over 7.5 crore people employed by registered MSMEs. That is a staggering workforce. I mean, this sector is one of the biggest job creators in the entire country. It's not just a slice of the economy. In many ways, it is the economy.
And this quote right here, it just nails it. It's not only about the jobs they provide right now, today. They're the breeding ground for innovation, the place where the ideas are born that will create the jobs of tomorrow. This is where the next generation of industry leaders really gets its start.
And look at the economic punch they pack. I mean, we're talking about 36% of our entire manufacturing output and a massive 45% of our total exports. They are literally the face of Make in India for the rest of the world, playing a huge role in making the nation a global manufacturing powerhouse.
But here's the thing. To grow, to innovate, and to really compete on a global scale, these businesses hit a major wall. And that brings us to the big challenge we're digging into today, getting access to capital. Let's think about it like this. If MSMEs are the engine of the economy, then credit is their fuel. It's that simple. Without a steady, easy-to-access supply of that fuel, this powerful engine just sputters. It can't reach its full potential. So the big question is, how do you solve that? And that's exactly what led to a whole new strategic solution.
So the response wasn't just some small, single policy. Nope, it's a really comprehensive, three-pronged support system, and it's all designed to turn these MSMEs into global champions.
And that word champions is really the key. The whole goal is to create winners on the world stage. But you can't build a champion with just one type of help, right? You need an entire ecosystem of support. And that ecosystem? Well, it's built on three main pillars. And here they are, laid out plain and simple. First, you've got equity support, which is all about direct investment. Second is liquidity support, to make sure the cash is always flowing. And third, professional support, to help them navigate all the complicated business stuff. Let's break each of these down.
Okay, first prong, equity support. Now, this is not about short-term loans. This is about injecting serious, long-term capital. We're talking about things like the Fund of Funds or the Self-Reliant India Fund, which, by the way, has a provision of 10,000 crore rupees from the government. So this isn't just a loan, it's a real investment in their potential to grow into major players.
Next up, liquidity support, which is just as critical. You know how a business can look great on paper but still fail because its cash is all tied up? Yeah, that's a huge problem. And that's where platforms like Treads come in. Basically, it's a system that helps these smaller companies get paid much, much faster. It solves that cash flow nightmare and then lets them get on with running their business. And the third prong, professional support. You know, this one is great because it really shows that money isn't everything. Trying to navigate all the rules and regulations can be a massive drain on a small business. So, this Corporate Mitras initiative is all about providing affordable professional help, especially in Tier 2 and Tier 3 towns. It frees up entrepreneurs to focus on what they do best, building their business.
Okay, so that's the high-level strategy, the three prongs. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty and see how these ideas actually turn into specific schemes that are putting capital to work on the ground. Here is a perfect example of policy in action. There's something called a credit guarantee cover, which is basically a safety net for banks lending to smaller businesses. Well, that safety net just got doubled, from 5 crore rupees up to 10 crore. What does that mean in simple terms? Banks have more confidence, so they lend more fuel for the engine.
Then there's the GECL. And that word, emergency, says it all. This was an absolute lifeline that was rolled out during the pandemic. It provided loans that were 100% guaranteed by the government, which helped countless businesses just stay afloat, meet their bills, and get back on their feet during a totally unprecedented crisis.
And we're not talking about small change here. The commitment is substantial. The budget carves out a massive 9,000 crore rupees just for this facility. That number alone tells you the scale of the safety net being provided to make sure the entire MSME sector stays resilient.
Another cornerstone here is the PMEGP. This is a credit scheme, but it has one very clear goal:
create jobs. By making it easier for brand new micro-enterprises to get started, it's empowering people like artisans and unemployed youth to become job creators themselves. You can draw a direct line from this financial support to jobs at the grassroots level.
And this chart really puts the financial muscle behind these programs into perspective. You can see the huge emphasis on creating jobs, with the PMEGP getting 4,500 crore rupees, and that's alongside the 900 crore for the fund of funds, which is focused more on that long-term investment for growth.
All right, so spending thousands of crores is one thing, but how do we actually know if it's working? This brings us to a really crucial shift in thinking. It's about focusing not just on the money going out, but on the results coming in.
This is the core idea right here. The whole focus is shifting from simply asking, how much did we spend, to asking, okay, but what results did we get for that money? It's a move toward a system that demands real accountability for real-world impact.
And there's actually a name for this framework, the OMF. It stands for the Output Outcome Monitoring Framework. It's designed to make governance more transparent and purposeful by asking two really simple questions. First, what did we produce with this money? That's the output. And second, what actual change did it create? That's the outcome.
Let's use an example to make this real. Take the RAM scheme. The money spent is linked to very clear targets, so the output might be integrating 4 ministry portals. But the desired outcome, the real-world result, is the actual digitalization of these schemes. See the difference? It's not just about building a platform, it's about resolving 1,000 real disputes using that platform. It makes success measurable and holds the system accountable.
So when you step back, what's really crucial to understand is that these credit schemes aren't just about finance. They are tools in a much larger national strategy. They connect directly to India's biggest economic goals, strengthening the Make in India mission, plugging our industries into global supply chains, creating jobs all over, and building a powerful entrepreneurial culture for the future.
And all of that leaves us with a really fascinating question. With this whole system of financial fuel, professional support, and performance tracking now in place, the stage is set. So the question is no longer if India's MSMEs will compete globally, but how they're going to reshape the entire manufacturing and commercial landscape.